What's up, guys? It's your boy ChasmRift here, and today we got Dragon Ball Super review with Big A again.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, so we're at episode 123, the big 123, and I can't believe it happened. We got a lot of actual character progression, and we actually had some communication between characters and dialogue. First things first, let's talk about Goku. He did the impossible. He actually used strategy.
Yeah, he said Jiren off balance a lot, man.
Yeah. How do you feel about like the whole Goku setting up an actual plan, and it actually worked?
It's definitely maybe not in a long time. It's definitely something we haven't seen from Goku at least recently. He is not the strategy type of guy. He usually just goes in there, smacks a bitch up, and that's it.
Yeah. I'm glad they're throwing these elements in because I know in original Dragon Ball you kind of had to use strategy to win. Like I remember in the martial arts tournament, so the way Goku blocked Tien Solar Flare was that he took sunglasses from, I think it was Roshi or somebody in the crowd, and he put them on during the middle of the fight so that he couldn't, get blinded by the solar flare. In Dragon Ball Z,
I believe that was from the announcer.
oh, that's even better if it's from the announcer because that gives it some
Yeah,
relevance.
yeah.
But in Dragon Ball Z, we didn't have that too much. It was like, all right, time for us to scan your power level. And like, okay, this guy is this strong. Okay, we're just gonna swap hands instead of using actual strategy. The only time they used strategy was when Tien used the Tri Beam against Imperfect Cell and it damaged him. Like Imperfect Cell was like he was shook. We don't have that anymore. Besides now in Super, where it's a mixture of both.
Yeah, it really does give you perspective on how much strategy we actually have.
Yeah, like I think that's what's adding in more fans who never seen Dragon Ball before. Like I talk to people who never seen Dragon Ball Z or haven't watched too much of it, or people who aren't a big fan of watching English sub. Like I talked to them about Dragon Ball Super. I showed them clips, like I did last night. I showed someone Ultra Instinct, and they're like, all right, just stop showing me the clip. I gotta actually watch Dragon Ball Super now." Like people love this new flavor that we're getting out of the series.
And not just that, we have a lot of new character progression, especially now with Goku using all these new moves and now with Vegeta's new transformation.
Oh yeah, we gotta get into that. That's gonna be fun to talk about. But yeah, we've seen a lot of new stuff and old stuff. Like we've seen the Mystic Water, we've seen the Mafuba come back, the After Image technique by Goku, Patara fusion not being used by just Goku and Vegeta. I mean, it's a nice little blend of everything. The special beam cannon, the fact that the animators must have like a fetish of watching Piccolo get, you know, like incapacitated and losing limbs because they kind of spam that too much where he loses a limb and he regenerates. We kind of get the point.
Yeah, they're like sitting in the corner, fucking lose that arm, Piccolo.
My God. I mean, like, he only lost his arm like once or twice in Dragon Ball Z.
And now he loses it like three in the whole fucking tournament of power. He loses it like 3 times.
Yep, and then he also lost it when he was fighting against Gohan after Gohan went Mystic. And, and then you had the Namekians lose their arms and limbs. Like, God. It's like, God, like, what is with y'all in watching the Namekians lose limbs? Like, when Tien lost his arm fighting Nappa, that was the only time we seen a character kind of lose their arm until future Gohan.
Well, besides that, I hope we also get to see our character use the Patara to get a Vegito, hopefully.
I mean, at this rate, we might actually need a Vegito to win. But
Yeah, we definitely will, unless we get another transformation. Definitely will.
yeah. Along with this whole strategy thing, we've seen a lot of clips. I don't want to say like they're real fights. We just seen like little segments of the other fights happening along the lines, like Frieza and Dispo going at it. We got to see why Frieza's still getting slapped around by Dispo, and when I say slapped around, pretend I use quotations. And then we see Topo fighting Android 17 and Gohan. How do you like these pairings so far in these performances by our warriors in Universe 7?
I mean, not to ramble on too much as we did last episode, but yeah, there was definitely two of our fighters needed to fight Topo, and then one to fight Dispo. I, however, am super pissed with the preview for Dispo.
Oh yeah. Personally, I'm actually pleasantly surprised that this is happening. Like I always hammer on about Dispo being the most inconsistent character, and you're starting to agree with me when we talk about the previews. But what they did keep consistent is the fact that Dispo admitted that he can take on Frieza, but then we see that he felt so confident with slapping around Frieza, but if Frieza gets up, then he's unfazed. At least they're continuing the fact that Dispo admits that he can't fight Frieza. And then with the whole Topo thing, I didn't know how I felt about it at first, seeing Gohan and Android 17 fight Topo, because I felt like he would be stronger than both of them, or maybe give them a run for their money. But it seems like Android 17 is a little bit more hostile towards Gohan when he told him, "Hey, just don't fight with me, man. We're gonna fight together."
I think he was being even more logical than Gohan, because to be honest, they're not gonna get anywhere if they try coordinating after so many years of not fighting with each other.
Yeah, that was good by him. Like he said, we never fought before, and this is what we need to do. I'm just disappointed in Gohan. Like Android 17 told him, "Hey, I'm gonna grab Dispo, I'm gonna stop him from moving, and you knock us both out." That happened. They actually were on the verge of getting rid of Topo, which would have been a huge elimination, especially for Gohan's character. And he stopped because Android 17 was about to get his arm broken. I don't think his arm was going to break. He was just in pain. It's like that say uncle.
Right, we did hear the snapping sound, so I don't. It's probably pretty well damaged, but not broken.
Yeah, I mean, like we did hear a snapping sound when Topo bear hugged Goku and Vegeta. I just think it's from Topo just being big and muscles colliding together. But it was like a say uncle thing where you grab someone by their arm and put it behind their back and tell them like say uncle or some crap like that. That's what I was imagining it as. Like Android 17 wasn't in any real pain the way he looked.
Yeah, he was just cringing a little bit. He really wanted to get that elimination. Which Gohan, by the way, why'd you bitch out there? Why'd you just not do it?
Hell, if anything, it would have been better to eliminate. That'd been all the more reason to eliminate both of them. Because if Android 17 will break his arm, once he gets eliminated, he can grab a sensu bean on the sidelines.
Yeah, boom, there you go.
Like, there you go, plot.
Plot.
Well, alright, we got that out the way. We got the 2 seconds of those two fights going on. Back to Goku and Vegeta. Shout out to Krillin. Like, he gets a lot of hate in the community. I don't know why people like to say he's the weakest human. I like to disagree. There's a guy named Yamcha. You ever heard of him? But there's like Krillin's technique actually almost got Goku in elimination against Jiren, and Krillin being as humble as he is, he didn't go around bragging about it. Like, yo, Goku just took a play on my playbook.
Yeah, man, that was super cool.
All right. Well, after it turned out to be the Goku show somehow, even though it's supposed to be Vegeta's episode, the man himself, Vegeta, actually finally got up after he saw Goku get dicked on and base formed by Jiren, quote unquote, punching.
First of all, Vegeta ain't no pushover. Second of all, Jiren's punches. What the actual fuck?
His punches, man. I don't know what was he throwing then early on. Remember 109, 110? What were those? If those weren't punches, I don't know what that was. Because they said, oh yeah, this is Jiren punching for real. Like, the punches he did, it destroyed pillars. My God.
Oh yeah, I'm just casually punching through dimensions. You know, don't worry about me.
And, like, this is what I was talking about. Like, I think it was last week's episode, or I probably just said it in general. But I think my theory was Jiren is getting progressively weaker to the point where, like, regular blue is actually formidable for him. But that was kind of debunked. And I'm kind of glad it was debunked because after Jiren dicked on Vegeta in the beginning of the episode, he said Vegeta was a warrior. He acknowledged his power. So if they could fight Jiren at his full strength and get acknowledgement, that's like basically winning the Super Bowl. Or in the Cleveland Browns case, that's basically like having a winning season.
But I also had comments from friends saying that his Achilles heel was when he meditates, and that's how he gains his energy. And I myself also had a theory on Jiren's Achilles heel. When Vegeta saw through his attack, I thought that for a second Jiren was fighting sort of seriously, and because of that, I thought his Achilles heel was him not being able to block as he attacks. But as you just said, all of these are debunked because he wasn't fighting seriously, even though we thought he was.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you watch stuff the programming, like, at this point, as many times as we mentioned him in the series alone, we might as well just say we're his biggest fanboys. um, if you watch his video, I mean, he talks a lot. The reason I recommend him to people is because he knows a lot about this stuff. Like, for example, the more key control you have, the more key you have, that equates to your fighting and your speed. Because Jiren has more keys than Dispo, people in the community, I myself would assume that meant Jiren was faster than Dispo. And when I thought of that, I was thinking about Jiren has to be getting progressively weaker if a significantly weaker fighter like Goku or Vegeta can actually dodge some of his hits now and dish out actual punishment on him. But that seems to be not to be the case. He's just very strong, and his speed may be as formidable as Goku's and Vegeta's, if that means anything. Like, if we had to do like a stat chart, like Dragon Ball Xenoverse stat chart, if they had a speed stat, his speed stat would probably be his lowest stat on there. If I gotta be honest.
True. I also believe that our warriors are just getting progressively better, so that might add on to the fact that Jiren is taking hits.
Oh yeah, I agree there. Like, despite not having any Zenkai boosts, I just think the fights in general are just good for our guys. You know, like, they're starting to learn more. They're starting to adapt. Like, Goku realized, okay, I just can't punch this dude to death. I gotta use strategy. Then there's Vegeta realizing that he got to swallow his pride and fight together with Goku. And then we got Vegeta also realizing he cares for Kaba to the point where it unlocked this new transformation. How about that?
Yeah, and to confirm, after he does unlock the new transformation, and Goku also fights full strength with his Kaioken, Jiren does confirm. He says your hits are getting sharper and harder.
Yeah, and we had talked about this, like how we said that their attacks are uncoordinated, but ironically that's what makes it work. I think that's very true to say, because usually the most unconventional things, or aka gimmicks, are what usually give someone a slight advantage temporarily. Like, Universe 4 did that to us with their gimmicks, but it was because our warriors were smart enough, they combated that. I don't think this uncoordinated attack would be enough to beat Jiren, but it'll be enough to phase him for a couple of minutes, if I gotta be honest. Or in Dragon Ball Super time, a couple of minutes would be about 5 or 6 episodes.
5 episodes later. But yeah, also I definitely agree with that. That's why I really thought Jiren had an Achilles heel along the lines of combat strategy and facing these techniques that he's never seen before. But he probably will see through them eventually.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be like, you know what? I got 2 limbs. Well, I got 4 limbs, but I got 2 arms. I could take 1 arm to take out you, Vegeta, 1 arm to take out you, Goku. But back to Vegeta, and instead of like talking about Jiren, I just think Jiren is like a bad outlier. And what I mean by that is we're comparing our warriors to how well they do against Jiren, and I don't think that's fair, because Jiren on many occasions showed that he suppressed himself, and sometimes suppressed himself even more without us realizing. Like, people thought that Hit could actually take on the same Jiren that fought Goku, but that Jiren was clearly suppressed. Otherwise, Hit probably would have passed out from a hit from that Jiren. When it comes to just,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when it comes to Vegeta, I think his new transformation, I might be wrong, and I will be the first to admit if I'm wrong about something like this, but I think his new transformation we got this episode isn't the equivalent of Ultra Instinct. I think his new transformation is his way of actually catching up to Goku's Kaioken times 20, because Goku is weaker than Vegeta, of course. We already kind of talked about that and discussed it, but being weaker than somebody isn't the same as being weaker than them after getting a 20 times boost. So, like, Kaioken times 20 is going to be stronger than any form of Vegeta at this current moment. This new transformation he got, I think, puts him on par or slightly above Goku right now, minus Ultra Instinct.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I believe his transformation, I'll call it Limit Breaker Blue. I don't know the official name.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah, sure. I believe it's equivalent to times 20 Kaioken Blue, but the reason it's in power, the reason I believe it's superior, because based off of the very few fight scenes we've seen with it, it looks like it doesn't drain as much stamina.
Yeah, honestly, like, it seemed like it shows traits to the Perfected God mode, which we talk about a lot here, and that's be seen in the anime. But at the same time, you're right, it shows like it's really no stamina drain. if anything, it seemed like Vegeta got bulkier. Like, remember the original Super Saiyan transformation? And like these guys were able to use like 3 or 4 different variations of it before they could go Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, you know what this really reminds me of? This reminds me of Super Vegeta.
Super Vegeta. Oh, remember when you mean from when he was enraged on
Yeah, exactly. Enraged Super Saiyan Vegeta, exactly.
Oh man, it's so funny you say that because before I watched the episode, I was looking at Super Saiyan Rage from Trunks and then Rage Vegeta.
Nice.
I mean, it seems like that. It seems like that rage he had then, it seemed like it was able to actually be harnessed, if anything. Cause like he did get mad. That's what triggered this transformation to go to even further. So maybe it's him having character progression, open up his heart or some crap like that. I don't know, some gay hippie shit that's gonna explain it.
All right, nice.
Well, that's pretty much about it. We kind of went over everything, and now we have to talk about the previews. The previews that you kind of gave me an earful of already about.
I mean, this is my opinion, I guess. It's probably it comes at Toho being defeated. Like, it shows teaser shows us that Gohan and Frieza are fighting Dispo. Like, where's 17? Where's Topo?
I mean, I was kind of talking about this with you. If there's any audio issues, screw my school. But I heard you for the most part. I was talking about you with this. Is that Dispo disappeared when he was fighting Frieza after he like ran Frieza into walls and Frieza showed him that he was unscathed. Dispo disappeared. I think Dispo really. What I'm speculating with this episode is Gohan was anticipating for Topo to attack him. Dispo used the speed to catch him off guard. And then like Frieza's like, "Hey, I'm not done with you, you little rabbit bitch. You still gotta fight me." And then he's like, "I'll take you both on." He's like, "I'll take you on, you stupid monkey, and you stupid Mewtwo motherfucker. I'll take you both on." And then they both decide to work together like they already did in the past with Frost. I just think Android 17 can actually hold Topo back for a couple minutes. I don't think he can actually beat Topo, but I can see him holding him back based on how he fought against Goku on the island.
Yeah, he can definitely hold him back. It's sad to think, but at this point, he's more useful being knocked off with Topo, unfortunately. But is it just me? This kind of a random thought. Is it just me, or are the Gohan and Frieza tag team battles like super awesome?
I don't want to say they're awesome because like the whole Gohan Frieza relationship is the weirdest one out there. The second weirdest will have to be either, the weirdest have to be either Vegeta and Frieza or Krillin and Frieza, or even Vegeta and Yamcha, because we know what Vegeta did to Yamcha and his girl. but I don't know. I find it weird because it was Planet Namek Saga that like 5 or 6 year old Gohan was able to like swap hands with second and third form Frieza, and then the same Frieza decided to almost kill Gohan, and then here we are like what 2.5 decades later, Frieza toys with Gohan in front of his family and friends, telling him he has to beg for his life, and now here they are in the tournament having to work together after they both kind of embarrassed each other over time.
No, yeah, I definitely don't like how Frieza fought Gohan, in a sense. But the reason I say I enjoy their tag team battles is because Gohan's strategy and then Frieza's ruthlessness, it's just kind of a pretty good combo in my opinion. I
know, like it kind of quote unquote debunks what Android 17 said about like we never worked together, so our attacks won't work, because like these two definitely never worked together really, and they're about to take out Dispo.
Exactly.
But I agree with you there when you said 17 is kind of useless now. Not saying that he's weak. It's just that like Topo and Jiren kind of outclass everybody on our team so far. So if someone got to take one for the team, it's worth it. Like if we're playing a game of Call of Duty, like let's just say we're playing Call of Duty, and there's like these two dudes, they're just dominating in the map. One of them sniping, the other one's on the ground. If one guy who's doing terrible in the game decides, you know what, I'm gonna kamikaze myself to take off the sniper, and they do that, like they might finish off the game being bad, but at the same time, they gave the team a chance to win. So if 17 got to take an L to get rid of Topo or Dispo, I say that's a major W for us.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'd also rather have 7 than Gohan or Frieza, just because I like them more as characters.
I mean, I love 17. Like, he really rubbed on to me when it came to Super. But Gohan, if you see my top 10 Dragon Ball Super favorite characters video, you already know how much I love Gohan. But based on some spoilers, he may actually be the next one gone, unfortunately.
Damn, I
Yeah,
know that
no.
shit.
I know. Fuck the YouTube community for always putting out spoilers and clickbaity thumbnails in their videos. But what'd you get the episode preview? Like a rating wise.
The preview, man, just because I don't know. I don't like it, so I'm gonna give it a.
Wait, can you say that again?
Oh my bad. I said I didn't really.
Alright. I mean, I guess I'll give this preview. I don't know. I guess I'll give this preview a 5. Because I think Gohan might actually get eliminated. And it might be from the most BS way possible. Something just tells me that. And it's a really bad timing. It's poor timing, really. Like, how come Vegeta gets a new transformation? They decide to deviate from their fight to show off, like, a Dispo fight. Like, no one wants to see Dispo. Everyone wants to see what Vegeta's gonna do now. It's really bad timing for this crap.
And that's why a couple of minutes is like 6 episodes.
Yeah. Well, how about you give this rating for this episode?
New transformation, full out Jiren and Goku does his Kaioken. I don't know, it was an all around good episode. I'll give it a 7.
You give it a 7? I'll give it a 6. And I'm giving it a 6 because, as much like I talked about in my top 10 video, I hate that it's always the Goku show 9 times out of 10. And because of that logic, I just cannot sit back and allow them to, let Goku take over the episode. It's supposed to highlight Vegeta's new transformation. That's just ain't how it works. You know?
You know what? You're right. Based off of that logic, I'm gonna give the preview fucking -1.
A -1? Wait. So you're gonna get a preview, a deduction because of something I said about today's episode review, rating?
Yeah, because of them deviating off the main fight and focusing on Dispo in the preview.
I know. I would assume you would have deducted from this week's rating because they deliberately did it. But all right. I guess that's the end of this episode, guys. That was pretty weird how that one ended. If you're new here, be sure to leave a like down below and follow my Twitter and Twitch as well. And we'll be doing fun stuff there. And again, if you're new here, you should definitely subscribe because when Dragon Ball FighterZ come out, I might actually stream it on YouTube Gaming. So that'll be fun, guys.
Subscribe now.
Yeah, check out Big A right here. I want to thank him. And I'm looking forward to see what he's going to be doing in the future when it comes to Dragon Ball related content. And what else? I just want to thank you all for watching, I guess. All the links are down below. Anyway, guys, we got to get out of here. The gates fell open. And I guess I got to go close them. So, bye.